My next guest is Rookie, someone whose work you have already seen on this channel in one form or another, especially in my background music. In fact, this podcast's new theme song is by him, but he is also a major Dragongate fan. And before we get into our chat, here's a snippet of his material. Rookie, what are you listening to lately?
Aside from my own stuff, probably I've been listening to the Gazette a lot, which is this J-rock band. And then I've been listening to a lot of Mass of the Fermenting Dregs, if you know who that is.
Oh
Their
yeah,
stuff.
they actually played here not too long ago. I wasn't able to go,
Whoa.
but I really wanted to go to that.
I listened to the self-titled EP, and then I listened to World Is Yours.
Nice. You're on the East Coast, right?
Virginia.
What's the indie scene like in your area?
There's nothing. There's nothing at all. Aside for the occasional, like, AEW show. But
Yeah.
other than that, like, not a few things.
Now, are you from that area?
From Chicago.
Okay, yeah, there's a much better scene there.
Yeah.
What's your history with watching wrestling?
I think my mother just played it one day on the TV. Next thing you know, I'm watching like John Cena and like all these other cool ass WWE guys. But just like growing up with WWE, like everyone watched WWE. Like I feel like that's a kind of cultural phenomenon. So I can't tell you how I really got started. But I think the first show I remember like watching or having a memory of was Raw Super Show in 2012, and then like the ending of that was Brock Lesnar F5ing John Cena. Of course, now I don't watch WWE because I'm not really supporting that wave.
Yeah.
But at the time, it was cool. Like I remember being a huge John Cena and Randy Orton fan, like most people were.
And then, how did you get into Dragon Gate?
So Pac had recently left WWE, and I was a big fan of like wrestling YouTube channels like Cultaholic and What Culture at the time. And so I remember I was like on my way to school, I was on the bus, and they were like, "Oh, Neville came back," and I was like, "Oh snap, bro, he's in New Japan! Oh snap!" And then they were like, "Oh yeah, he came back to Dragon Gate and he faced Shingo Takagi," and I was like, "Whoa, what is this Dragon Gate stuff?" And one
Yeah.
thing I liked about New Japan was the junior heavyweight style of wrestler. Of course, you had guys like Kushida and Hiromu and Taiji Shimori. So I was like, okay, how do I watch this? So I remember I watched the segment on YouTube where he came back and joined RED, but I couldn't watch the shows. So what I would do is I would follow it through Twitter, and I would just like repost and like everything that I saw. But the pandemic came around, and this gave me a lot of time to watch wrestling. So I joined the Dragon Gate Discord server around, I think it was 2018 or 2020. I can't vividly remember, but like one day they did one of the little Discord streams, and we were watching the Berserk Cage, which was which is a really cool concept for a match. Like every member of the heel unit being in like the match. But since I only had access to this, I didn't have like New Japan World or anything at the time. I was like, okay, I kind of have to watch this stuff now. So during 2020, I sank my teeth into it because there was a pandemic and there was nothing to do. And I found myself resonating with a lot of it. And it was easy to get into it too because like it was during the Generation War. So you had like RED, Toryumon, Dragon Gate. These are the good guys, these are bad guys, and these are the old guys.
Yeah.
So yeah, like it was very easy to get into.
Yeah, it's a good starting point because they kind of reset the whole roster.
Yeah.
So what do you keep up with now otherwise?
I usually only watch wrestling right now if I'm in a Discord with my friends, but we watch a lot of stuff. Like if I'm not falling asleep mid-show, I'll watch like New Japan, I'll watch Noah. Stardom is always fun. Other than that, not really a whole lot. I was keeping up with Deadlock, but then they shut down.
Yeah,
That
that's
was
too
really
bad.
sad, so
How caught up on Dragon Gate are you now? Did you watch this week's?
yeah, I did. I watched a few clips of it, but I didn't see the whole thing. I remember the last full show I watched was Kikuta versus Gianni Valletta. I did watch some of the King of Gate stuff in spurts.
I actually didn't know this until the other day, but they uploaded full shows of some of the King of Gatehouse shows. So there's this one
Whoa.
venue that kind of reminds me of some of the old Toryumon venues. Tops Bits Hall. It's really cool looking. It's like
Whoa.
lots of like
Oh
modern
my
lighting.
gosh. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it's probably a concert venue.
It gives me like big like punk vibes. The way like everyone's cramped in, like yeah, that'd be awesome.
Oh, okay, it's a club.
Oh.
There's one here that has it has a wraparound balcony, so you get a bunch of crazy indie guys doing dives off the top.
Oh, that's sick.
I don't know if they're going to be running there anymore, though, because the last time there was a wrestling show there, they set off the fire alarm.
Oh.
And people might have heard about this because it actually made some buzz. They finished the match out on the street, and they had Matthew Justice and Shotzi Blackheart jumping off a hot dog truck.
Whoa. It reminds me of when like Kota Ibushi he jumped off some type of truck in DDT. I think it was like a
Oh
food truck.
yeah, he does all kinds of crazy shit.
Yeah.
The stuff where he was using like Roman candles,
Yeah.
lighting
And
off fireworks in the
fireworks and
street.
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
fire.
He's a nut.
Oh, that was 16 years ago. Crazy.
Yeah, wow. So yeah, like, how are you feeling about Dragon Gate in general going into 2026?
I'm excited. The return of Ryoto Shimizu definitely. Well, I call him Ryoto Shimizu. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he's going to get a new another name change because he's had so many so far.
Yeah, I don't think they'll change it. I think they're just gonna roll with it.
I like Big Boss for what he looks like now.
And it's so cool because when I was getting into DG, he was Big R Shimizu and he was healing it up in RED and he had like the Kevin
Yeah.
Nash singlet. Now he's
Mhm.
like really slimmed down and I wasn't the biggest fan of Big Boss in like 2023 to 20 like 5. He kind of just didn't click with me. I kind of like the energy he gives off as a heel more so than a babyface because he's kind of more
Mm.
laid back as a babyface. Like he'll still
Mm.
turn it up. Madoka Kikuta hasn't been doing it for me. So we'll have these like great mid card matches. Like the Twin Gate scene is awesome. Like
Mhm.
Rita Kamei versus D Courage was so
Oh my
fun.
god, yeah.
Yeah, it was like amazing. I'll probably have that in one of my like top matches for 2025. But then like you'll see Madoka Kikuta, and then he's trying to do this like slow imposing heel work. And personally, his style hasn't been for me, which is sad because like he was so explosive in 2020 and 2021 when he was a heel. When they were doing the rerun, and I feel like they were trying to like catch him up on stuff he didn't get to do as a heel in the past. It personally didn't work because of like how uninteresting the matches were, in my opinion.
Yeah, I know a lot of people have been critical about his title reign. I was thinking about like speaking of just being explosive is I remember in his first title run one of the moments that really stood out to me was when he was actually against Shimizu.
Yeah.
That one moment where he does his hip attack in the corner and he just like gets thrown out of the ring from the impact of it and
Yeah, he booms
and it
him.
was
Yeah.
like that moment really stands out to me and it doesn't really seem like Kikuta does that as much anymore. He's more deliberate. I don't know, I think he just needs to turn it up a bit.
Yeah.
I don't dislike his title run, but I think
Mhm.
he's being overshadowed on the card right now.
By like Shun and stuff.
Yeah, because there's a lot of big stuff going on around him, which is it's also like a valuable position to just be kind of like a catalyst for other people.
Yeah.
And there is something to be said for like maybe him not entirely deserving his spot is also part of his heel character.
Oh. Hmm.
But that's kind of like what Minoru was doing a couple years ago. So
Yeah.
and he didn't end up actually getting the spot, which is kind of funny. I do want to see where they go with it. I want to see who takes it off of him. But yeah, the Twin Gate division is on fire right now. I really
Yeah.
like that Love and Peace has all the tag belts right now,
Mhm.
especially with how they started. They were kind of not really doing much for a while. They were losing pretty much every match and
Mhm.
not really getting big opportunities, and now they're way on top.
And I love how Love and Peace, like when it first started, it didn't entirely feel like Gold Class with Hio. It
Mhm.
felt like its own thing, but I was kind of worried it would just like feel like that. But no, they've definitely like made it their own thing. And I love what everyone is doing. And it's the tag belts thing is kind of a callback because when they first started, they went after the Triangle and Twin, didn't they?
Yeah, yeah. They all kind of feel like they have something to do.
Yeah.
which I really like. And I like that Junior now has this kind of rivalry with Fuda, where they're just like
Hmm.
trying to kick each other as hard as they can. They're not saying it, but the subtext of it is, "I'm the better protege of Mochi than you."
Yeah. Yeah, Fuda could stake a claim to that. Especially since, Junior hasn't been around Mochi too much. He's kind of doing his own thing. Even sometimes I forget, like, Fuda debuted in 21, was it? He had the match against
Yeah,
Kagetora. I
yeah.
remember,
What
like,
do you,
watching that, and I was like, oh, he's the best one. But then he kept getting injured. And then Fujiwara, of course, like, kind of stepped him up.
it's really too bad what happened with him and SBK, but
Ah,
that's such
yeah.
a loss.
SBK, that was like my guy. Like when I was
Yeah.
first getting into the promotion, one of the first shows I saw was Gated Destiny 2020, and he like turns heel. He starts like sticking his tongue out and does the SBK chant. I was like,
Mm.
wow, this guy's the future. And he leaves, and I'm like, oh, but he did a lot though. So like,
I kind of feel like the bridge isn't totally burned there, but I think they would need to take whatever their punishment was supposed to be. But I think they just wanted to stay in Mexico, which is kind of funny because Estrella's there and just hates going back to Japan, which is why we didn't see him this
yeah.
last time.
Yeah, Estrella is a curious case.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know too much about him. I like that he still has this mystery to him. He's bulked up significantly too.
Yeah.
But he comes back, he does his Brave Gate challenge. I don't think he did he have one this year?
No, because he came back to renew his visa, and I thought he was going to have a couple matches, and they just never put him on any cards.
Nope.
And it might have been just because he didn't want to. He
Yeah.
just doesn't like being in Japan, from all I've heard. I think he just got his visa renewed and then went back.
I heard somewhere that he was Ultimo's assistant or something like that. He'd probably be a good talent scout.
I think what he does is he lives at Toriamankasa and kind of oversees the dojo. So yeah, I think he works pretty closely with Ultimo. That's a job for life if he wants it, probably.
Yeah.
What are your feelings on Vibes right now?
It needs to go, dude. Vibes has been
Like
around since
2018, I think.
technically 2018.
Yeah,
Yeah. I don't know where everyone else goes. UT could be in Love and Peace. Of course, Shimizu just went to Gaja Dokuro.
right.
I thought they were gonna add Monte. I'm not as invested in Vibes anymore, but I am invested in the Big Boss story. Was it Jay that was feuding with UT, and then he kind of took over the leadership?
Yeah, it was kind of
I
like
kind of feel bad for Vibes.
that. I thought was a cool moment just because Jay was like, "We need to get serious," and then
Yeah.
they kind of did for a while, and then they just kind of went back to what they were doing before. And when Jay took over leadership, like he wasn't recruiting anybody. Even when they brought in Flamita, that was KZ bringing him in. They were in kind of a holding pattern with Jay, and I think maybe they were waiting for Shimizu to come back so they could do this.
Mhm.
But what do you do with KZ? I guess he goes to Paradox then?
Yeah.
Jay, I could see Jay in Saipatra actually.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Hashing things out with Shun and then seeing
Mhm.
if he could fit in there. I think that would be a pretty interesting move for him.
Yeah, I feel like instead of the Monte Flamita Bandito triangle run, you could have had a Vibes triangle run instead.
It needs something.
This is the perfect time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it makes Gaja Dokuro look stronger.
Hmm.
But I feel like there's a lot of guys in Gaja Dokuro who aren't really like doing anything either. Well, maybe just Mina Lee.
Yeah, I think they can always be a strong tag team. They've been now pushing, because of the All Asia thing with All Japan, they've
Mhm.
been pushing the Ishin and Kato team, which are also just really fun together.
Yeah, that's probably the only All Japan I'll ever watch. Yeah, I'm not down with All Japan right
I
now.
dip in for a bit to see what Doi is doing every once in a while. I like some of their juniors. Did you see the Doi produce pay-per-view?
No, actually. I was gonna watch that.
That's a lot of fun if you can track that down. Junior and Inoue match is really good. They're like, they just kick the hell out of each other.
I did hear that Junior was gonna be in the Junior Tag Battle of Glory or whatever they call it.
Okay, yeah.
And I like Atsugi Aoki a lot.
Hmm.
But other than that, I don't really have a reason to go into it.
Actually, what I really like is that they're putting Mochi Fuji back together to challenge them.
Yes. Yeah, I love when Mochi Fuji gets tag title challenges. Like, I wish they'd have a veteran, well, Paradox kind of, but I wish they'd have like a veteran gun third iteration or something. That'd be fun.
Well, I guess most of Paradox is technically Toryumon era guys, but I think you could have an even older veteran team.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna do like the Mochi Fuji like dojo because like Fuji was like, oh, I'm gonna take these kids and you're gonna take these kids, but no, they were like,
Yeah.
screw Fuji.
Paradox, you can't make them too big though. Like if Vibes broke up and you had KZ, then do you take someone else out and put him somewhere else?
I
I
don't
don't
see
know.
anyone in Paradox turning. That's the problem.
Mm.
Like, I don't see Hulk going to Gaja Dokuro. I don't see like, well, Dragon Kid would be the worst option. And then you can't really do anything with Doi because he's freelance. I don't think
Yeah,
he wants to commit to a whole storyline.
I think Not Hug is probably the biggest storyline we can hope for with him right now.
Yeah, I do want to see a Yamadoi challenge, but I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah, I always like when they bring it back, but they really
Yeah.
haven't focused on the two of them in this unit. I don't know if you saw that Yamato has kind of like an arm issue now.
Ah, that sucks.
Yeah, well, I mean, it happens when you've been wrestling for this long. He had some numbness in his arm, and it just might
Mhm.
mean he's going more mat based. Now is kind of the time when they've got to pull the trigger on getting Yoshioka into the ace position.
Yeah, I don't think you can put the belt on Yoshioka right now. That's the big thing.
No, he needs to be built up more.
Yeah.
Just because I think it becomes too obvious if they put it on him now. But I do like what D Courage is bringing to the table right now.
Yeah, I don't know what you do with them though in the unit sphere just because they're kind of small. They're kind of on the smaller end.
I mean, I kept saying that I wanted Monte in there, but I think I don't know what Monte does when he comes back because he's back in Mexico right now.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Is he doing
I
dates?
don't know. I think he just wanted to go back and visit his family because I heard for the longest time that he was supposed to be going back, and then they kept doing stuff with him.
Ah,
So I think they just kept delaying it. But now that he's gone, I think they can probably place him somewhere. I think they didn't want to make long term plans for him until he actually came back. They could put him in a lot of places, really. But
yeah.
I mean, the place I would most like to see him is reconciled with Shun.
Yeah, that team was so cool. They were so big and
Yeah,
imposing, and both of them had
yeah,
masks.
and
Yeah,
their entrance drip was just crazy. But
yeah.
like D Courage's entrance gear is like S tier right now when you see the three of them together.
Yes, Ryoya's coat.
Oh yeah,
Wow,
and he's got
it's
like the
fire.
Kamen Rider mask on, and then like you get Daya with his old mask for his entrance, and
Yeah, when he first started doing that, that threw me off because I was like, wait, you're not supposed to have that. And they took it off. And I was like, oh, okay. I see what you're doing
yeah,
here.
I want to say Kimura would be a good fit.
Yeah, Decourage can stay around. Every unit still feels relatively new, except for Decourage and Vibes,
Yeah,
of course.
usually approaching like a year or so into it is when they start changing things with heal units. So I think we start seeing people getting kicked out of Gajadokaru as they grow.
Who do you think is the first one who's going to be kicked out of Gaja
Man,
Dokuro?
I don't know. I've been saying Kai for a long time just because he's been healed through like 3 units,
Yeah,
but he doesn't necessarily need to, and I don't know what you do with him after that other than like throw him into Paradox, I guess. Or I guess he could fit into Psypatra because they're all weirdos.
I feel like it would be interesting to see what happens if you kick out a guy like Jason Lee.
Mm-hmm.
I hope he doesn't eviscerate me because I know he watches this. But I think if you kick out Lee, he could go to probably Love and Peace or Decourage. He's just a real flexible guy
Mm-hmm.
with like being a face.
He has that whole edgy aesthetic to him now. Like, what do you do with that? Do you
Mhm.
completely change it and ditch it, or do you keep that and have him kind of reinvent it for a different unit? Minora needs something. Maybe he tries to take a run at Kikuta. I think Kato stays.
Yeah, I feel like Kato stays because he seems underdeveloped in like the heel department.
They are starting to focus more on him though, which is nice. Ishin is getting more popular because he's a goofball. Or the other possibility is like I don't even know if Kikuta is safe now because with Shimazu in there, they might
Yeah,
pull when Yamato joined Mad Blanky and kicked out Tozawa.
yeah,
You could do something like that with Kikuta, but I don't know what you do with him after that because he can't just go face again. And I
yeah, he
don't know if
can't.
he'd fit into Psypatra now either because he turned on Shun.
They could probably retcon it. and go back to Decourage, which is like, whatever.
Hmm.
But Promagaja Dokuro is like, I feel so bad for Minoru because he just got his 2A spot taken by Shimizu, in my opinion. I think they're
Yeah.
gonna put a lot more focus on Shimizu.
I mean, that they could even use that.
He went back to his like masquerade look, kind of shaved his beard, he grew out his hair. Like I can see you doing some with Jason Lee. I don't know what you do with Minoru. I don't particularly like him as a face, and as a heel, he's whatever.
I just don't know what kind of spot you put him in. It would it would actually be really funny if he went to Love and Peace, just like with his tail tucked between his legs, like, hey, will you guys have me back? I mean, I say everyone could go to Decourage, but Minoru and Decourage might be kind of interesting, actually.
Especially with the whole Yoshioka thing. Like he was beefing with Yoshioka for a while,
Yeah, yeah.
even when he was in gold class. So
I think Daya would end up being the peacemaker there.
yeah,
Because, like, Minoru was the guy who was defending Daya during Masquerade.
if we kill Vibes, you could merge the remnants of Vibes and Decourage.
Like, UT and Decourage would actually be really cool.
Really cool, yeah.
Especially, like, with that entrance gear he's got, he could be kind of a natural fit with that. He's got that same sort of attitude that they have.
A UT Daya and Tanaka Dragongate
Oh my
reign?
god.
That would be.
Yeah, I'm into that. Yeah, I mean, the only real question is what do you do with Jay after that?
I don't want Gacha Dokuro to get too big.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people say, like, they don't want the heel units to get too big. Like, RED became 10 people, so really it's
Yes.
not that big. This is going to date this video immediately, but I'm right now I'm working on a Muscle Outlaws disbanded video.
Whoa.
And Muscle Outlaws was like, God, like 17 people if you count all the guest members. Like, there were guys who dipped in for like one show or two, and
Like Jimmy Rave.
he was there for a little bit, but like Kenzo Suzuki was in there for a bit.
What?
Yeah, he was there for like 2 shows, and then like Dick Togo showed up for a little bit, and yeah, that Muscle Outlaws
Yeah.
was a mess.
Kevin Steen.
Yeah, just they were all over the place with their guest members. Like, I'm going back and looking at footage, and I don't even have all of it because a lot of it doesn't exist anymore. But there are shows where people would just show up with Muscle Outlaws and then dip out.
Hey, we're in Muscle Outlaws for one show. Put me on the Wikipedia page for Muscle Outlaws.
Yeah, I can just like claim that you were a member of Muscle Outlaws, and everyone will believe you because it's like, oh yeah, they can't disprove it. So yeah, I don't think Gajadokuro is too big. And the heel units usually are bigger, and they usually have like a couple guys lower on the totem pole. A lot of the heel units would have the trio of like Mondai Ryu and Punch Tominaga and Cyber Kong, and they just wouldn't really do anything. They'd be like the low level guys who can take pins.
Fodder.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, we were focusing on T-Hawk and, losing our money.
God,
But it's okay.
when everything was focusing on T-Hawk. God.
Yeah, I wasn't around for that, thank God. Because I feel like, you know what? When Minoru does the knee, I call it the Cerebus knee. And everybody starts laughing. Yeah, because I
Yeah.
feel like Minoru was in the T-Hawk boat for a little bit, but now he's not getting overpushed, so it's like, it's fine.
I'm trying to think of who else moves around now, because I think I really do like Saipatra's current lineup if they all stay healthy at once.
Yeah.
I think they're probably going for CLO unmasking sooner rather than later.
Yeah, with Dragongate, I feel like sometimes it's an instant gratification thing with these like unmaskings. Like they'll only be around for 2 weeks.
Mhm.
With Cielo, I'm like, please unmask, and I'm just like, that. Yeah, that's a good thing because you don't get the instant gratification all the time. Like with RED, they used to bring out the demon mask,
Mm.
and I'll be like, okay, who is this dude?
Yeah, and then
And
it was
they would, like,
like
unmask in 2 weeks.
Ishida and it was Hulk. What was the other one? Was it?
It was Hokuda.
But it was a ruse, right?
Yeah, he turned. Yeah.
Yeah, he was the yellow demon. I want to say.
It was like a yellow green.
Yeah, yeah. I know Valletta is taking dates in Europe again, so he might be dipping in and out.
Mhm.
I just saw something about him going back to Bulgaria. I don't know if that's going to be long term or if he's just ending one tour and then coming back.
Gianni Villette is super fun to watch.
He is. He's a lot of fun, and they use him well. They like play to his strengths, and they
Yeah.
don't really oversell him. They don't really shove him in your face too much.
Yeah, he got a great Dream Game match out of Kakuta. That was a fun one.
How are you feeling about Jiro Shimbashi?
He's so fun. You know what? I actually thought he was some random indie guy. I just watched a show and he appeared, and I'm like, where is this dude from? And then I realized doesn't have a cage match. So I'm like, okay, is he from like J stage or something? But no, he's a rookie, which is really interesting because I don't think I ever heard them like talking about
He
him.
had a couple matches, but he was under a different name. And the way they did that was he was Ryuta Sugihara, and they call him. They say that Jiro Shimbashi works for the Sugihara Corporation, so that's the way they figure that
Ah,
in.
that's
But he had a
why.
completely different style in his exhibition matches. I really like. I love everything about this gimmick. It's a lot of fun, and you can
Yeah.
tell they all have a blast working with him.
And it hasn't gotten stagnant because I heard you did the podcast with Art
Yeah.
and you were talking about him and Art actually got to see him live, which is really
Mm-hmm.
cool. He's so charismatic. The problem is I don't want him to be put in a box.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know what he's gonna do because he's already on the RI gate. He usually does singles.
Mm-hmm.
So like I wonder how they're gonna phase him out of this. Are they just gonna be like, is he just gonna like strip off his suit one day and be like, hey, I'm done, I'm just gonna kick people's asses?
Yeah,
Because like
that's
this is funny,
right, but
but
like
like,
after he goes through the whole roster, like what do you do with him after that?
yeah.
But I mean, like Stalker had a ton of longevity too, and he
Hmm.
joined units every once in a while,
Yeah.
but he was never really featured. I think you could probably, I don't know, put him in Love and Peace or something. That might be fun.
I want to see what he does in the ring with Shun. I want to see how Shun reacts to this type of stuff.
They did have that match that was mostly them just talking,
Hmm.
and then just Shun hits him with the blaster. But yeah, I think as like an actual full match, that would be interesting.
But again, I just wonder what he's gonna do. But he's been presented like the second most well out of all the new guys, like aside from Homare.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's the one with like the most charisma.
Yeah.
Again, back to the instant gratification. Most of these new guys aren't being put in units right away, but Homare, man, wow, what a career.
Mm-hmm. As of this recording, they've just announced him coming back at Korakuen.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. I
So.
remember he came in and he joined soon, and I was like, "Whoa, what the heck? They don't do this."
Mm,
Like, and I was like, "Okay, this is my guy."
yeah. I'm really interested in seeing if they'll keep him with Shun and how long.
I don't think they're a package deal because he seems to do fine without Shun.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think they're gonna turn him anytime soon because I don't feel like him joining Gaja Dokuro makes total sense
Mm-hmm.
unless they're gonna be like, "Hey, I'm in cahoots with Kahuta. He beat you. You know, you're trash." But I like the Saipatra. I like the duo of Homari and Shun. I like that they didn't push him to the moon right away. It definitely could have been an SVK case where you just give him all the belts, but no, he won the Dragongate 2 times. Unfortunately, he got injured the second time, but he hasn't really done too much, so there's still room for him to grow and breathe.
Yeah, I kind of feel like he's going to be the guy who beats Ryoya for the Brave Gate.
Yes, please. I would love that.
Are you in a position at all to go to Vegas for the DGUSA shows at all?
Not at this moment, no. But I was gonna go to the Now Arena show for the New Japan thing in Chicago, maybe.
Oh, right. Yeah, they are running the G1. That's interesting. Yeah, I'd like to see if they're going to get some indie guys in there.
I wasn't in a position to do it last year, so I was gonna be like, okay, this is the one, and I wasn't in a position to do it this year, which is fine.
Mm.
I could just cash it online. And it sold very well too. Like the first row was sold out. And it's also very cheap too. It's very accessible. But just like, the whole flight situation, I couldn't really do it.
Mm-hmm. That's why I'm hoping to work some US dates before that happens, but we'll see what happens with that.
Especially like Stardom. Stardom's gonna sell out. Sure, the video presentation isn't the best, or like, the matches aren't the best, but the crowd like loves like Stardom wrestlers.
Yeah, I have noticed they don't seem to go as hard for the American shows, which I kind of get.
Sadly.
But like you see that kind of with Dragon Gate too, is they go over and they're kind of going at like a 7 to 8 out of 10, and then they kind of wait until the
Yeah.
last show to really go all out. They did that last year too.
Yeah.
I was there for the Pro Wrestling Revolution show last year, and for that last show, yeah, they went all out for that, and that just blew everyone's minds.
Was that the six man? I remember the six
Yeah,
man
yeah, it was a
match
6 man.
was very good. Yeah, and I remember SOK and Azumi were at that DG show. That was fun.
Yeah, yeah, that was really cool to see them. I was watching on the network. They had Yamato doing his video blog, and you can actually see me and Eden hanging out in the crowd there. So we've
Whoa,
been
that's sick.
immortalized on the network.
It would be nice to go because I do have family in Vegas and I lived out there for like 2 years.
Oh,
But
nice. I wish I knew more people there, just because I'd love to stay with someone instead of having to get a hotel.
that would probably be my plan if I was gonna go.
Unless I can find someone who wants me to work their show, and then I can maybe film some stuff or do some editing.
I tried to get on Premiere Pro recently. I was like really rusty. I think I stopped because I wanted to go harder on the music
Talk about your music a little bit. Like you've been doing that for quite a while now, right?
since I think like 2020. Yeah.
Was that like a pandemic hobby or?
Yeah, it was, but it wasn't my idea. I was in the car listening to music with my mom, and I think we were like listening to Lil Wayne or something. I was like, "Oh, hey, I could do this for fun. I think it'd be a cool hobby." And then she was like, "Oh, we'll start like producing first."
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about music production is Chicago, it's kind of like easy to get around and talk to musicians.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to like an arts high school too. So I was like, "Okay, let me get this a go." I love doing it. Of course, there's some things I need to brush up on. Like, I want to take voice lessons in the
Mm-hmm.
future. And of course, I write my own lyrics and I produce my own beats. But it's just fun. And I think, like, the reason I go so hard with it is because, like, there's still a lot of stuff I haven't learned. I've been kicked out of a band class before because I didn't know how to play an instrument. So I'm trying to learn how to play an instrument without, like, frustrating myself. Like, I did do piano and guitar, and I do know how to read sheet music, but it was at a point where I was just like, hey, I'm not progressing. Let me start doing digital stuff. So I downloaded DAW. It's just breaking out is the real thing. Like, I want to have a message. Like, if I start writing, I want to have a message behind the stuff I do.
Well, I know I keep telling
Mhm.
you, like, you got to post your stuff somewhere, because I do like your stuff that you send me.
Yes.
And that's why I wanted to do like a collaboration with you with the stuff that I'm working with. I don't know how many people know the stuff that I've been doing. I'm not super public about it just because it's like anonymous on purpose, but I work with a music collective. So, I wanted to do that split EP with you.
That was like really cool. I did not expect my first release to be a synthwave type of deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted it to be like rap release where I'm going hard with the bars and the beats.
Yeah. I mean, you've got a lot of range already, I think. The synthwave stuff, like you've been contributing that stuff to my channel for
Mhm.
quite a while. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it because it's just like, I never asked you to do any of it. You're just like here's some beats if you want. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, the reason I wanted to do it was because I noticed like you used a lot of synthwave stuff,
Mhm.
and the first thought I had was like, okay, if I'm not like if I didn't make synthwave, I don't think I was like gonna get like on your channel. So I was like, okay, let me try. If it works out, it works out. And it did actually work out.
Yeah.
I want to get into the composing field a lot. Like I've noticed like certain wrestling themes, especially like Stardom themes. I'd love to do a theme for somebody. Stardom themes use a lot of samples, especially like a lot of vocal samples. Like,
I think maybe a good way to break in is to just like contact indie wrestlers and see if they want a theme, because a lot of indie wrestlers just use copyrighted themes that can't be used on broadcasts.
the versatility thing, I'm actually like more motivated when people say I'm versatile because I grew up listening to like only hip hop for a while.
Hmm.
And then sophomore year 2021, someone told me I was just really only making hip hop beats. So I was like, okay, let me try something else. So I started listening to more music like 3 Days Grace and like The Fray, Baby Metal, and like BTS and stuff.
That's quite a range.
Yeah, it came from being motivated to actually listen to more stuff so that I can make more stuff.
Hmm.
And then I was listening to like wrestling themes too. Yohei, the composer that does all the DG
Yeah.
themes, some of those themes are like really tough and they actually have vocals in it. I grew up like CFO's era and like late Jim Johnston era,
Yeah.
so like a lot of those songs didn't really have vocals. And when you get to the Dragongate themes, they're like fully composed. Like they have these bridges and chorus
A
sections.
lot of
I'm just like,
them
whoa.
just get like there. I mean, there's the one guy Nakazawa who does a lot of them too. But yeah, they
Yeah.
get a lot of like actual bands to do a lot of their stuff. Like Acma has a
Mhm.
lot of stuff. It's going back a ways, but like the Michelle Gun Elephant did the M2K theme,
Yeah.
and then you got like D Courage is done by Electronic Girl Aya.
Yeah.
Diamond Yukai does Open the Dreamgate theme, and then John Underdown does a few of them.
Viva Victory is my stuff.
Yeah. Then he does Ishin's theme too. I always wonder like when is somebody gonna get new themes because there are a few
Mhm.
guys who don't have them yet. Still,
Mhm.
Rita just got his. I like his new theme.
I want to hear more of Kato's theme because people keep calling it metalcore, but I need to like sink my teeth into it. One thing I like is they used to do Music Gate a lot, and how they would have it structured out, it would kind of be like a ranking of the roster members.
Mm-hmm.
And that was so cool because you see like these three different track lists. Everything in Dragon Gate seems so organized, but on the music front, there's a lot of like J-pop influence. And some of
Mm-hmm.
those sections get really like consistent. Like Millennials 2015, there's a lot of like synth
Yeah.
pop and like breakcore, and it reminds me a lot of Yasutaka Nakata, who does like Capsule. If you ever listen to them, it's a J-pop band, and so
Yeah, I'm familiar. Yeah.
they do a lot of this like techno backing vocal in there, and I'm
Yeah, and then you get stuff like Ryoya's new theme, which is
Mhm.
a lot more like J rock, like almost a little bit of J metal there.
Yeah.
Komare is, I don't know if it fits him, honestly,
Yeah.
because that style is older than he is.
Mhm.
It's interesting because the lyrics in that track actually reference Skywalker.
Oh, I think they'll keep it even if he separates from Shun, because Doi's lyrics, I think it talks about like being your own person, you're the only one, and like he's teaming with a bunch of guys. He hasn't turned in like 10 years.
Yeah, Jackie's still using the Jackie Funky Baby.
I like that theme though.
What are you working on now?
Just a lot of sample-based stuff. I usually mostly do hip hop because like that's the genre I like the most. But
Mm-hmm.
since I know on my hard drive, I've been doing a lot of samples and stuff. Usually I'll download a bunch of VSTs on a hard drive and then go based off of there. I've been trying to figure out ways to collab with a bunch of producers because my Chicago friends, they've been producing as well. I come from a very like creative friend group, so everyone's like working on something, whether it be like script writing or producing like me. And now we're actually doing a lot of producing. I think what I might do is a compilation tape. I might take all the synthwave tracks I did it for you on YouTube and Bandcamp, and that'll be like a
Mm-hmm.
little synthwave compilation tape.
Yeah, even if it's just like demo tracks and stuff, people do that
Yeah.
all the time there.
And then I want to focus more on my writing because I don't have a way to record music. The HyperX Quadcast I use, I only really use that for talking to people. So I want to get a
Mm-hmm.
recording set up, and then I'll just want to like work on demos. I just want to encourage everyone to be creative and like, make sure you're being your own person, be a leader, not a follower. Do whatever the fuck makes you happy. Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
I love when people are being themselves.
Yeah, DM pretty much any promoter really just to ask them what they need. I know that when I've been, cutting matches together, we either have to demonetize or we have to change the entrance parts
Yeah,
to
themes.
either take them out or redub them, or
Mhm.
sometimes you can get away with changing the speed of the audio a little bit, but I don't really like doing that. But yeah, you can't really stream a lot of that. That restricts a lot of people's content. So I would like to see more original artists freelancing for indies.
I definitely love to do that. I don't know a lot of promoters though, that's the thing, so I'll have to do my research.
Where can we find you now?
My Twitter and my Instagram is Rookie Knows, RUKIKNOWS. And then Rookie Knows, I don't use Blue Sky a lot, but you can hit me up on Blue Sky. That would be awesome. RookieKnows.bluesky.social. I want to shout out Laser PH.
Oh, yeah, I follow him too.
Yeah, Laser PH is so tough. He's in my close friend circle, so I just want to shout him out. And that's it.
Yeah, thank you for coming aboard and talking about all your stuff, and thank you for the music, as always.
Always, yeah.
This is why I wanted to do this stuff, because I appreciate the people who support my channel and support my work and all
Yeah.
that. You can find Rookie's newest release, Rookie Wave, on his own YouTube channel, released as of this posting date, which I will link below. Special thanks to my current members, That Guy from AK, Dan Williams, Art, Lowest, Adam Sanderson, One Funky Note, Lino Nuokacha, Rain Go Wa, Jade Somu, Queso Dip, Sai, all my previous Ko-fi donors, and of course Rookie for the music, which you're hearing in the background right now. I'm currently planning on releasing more disbanded videos in February, and hopefully a preview for the next major show, 1, 2, 3, and then I'm working on some more long-form content. See you there.